So in previous lecture we have obtained the Schrödinger wave equation for the hydrogen atom, but there we have seen that we cannot like directly solve this equation, so we have to use the variable separation method. So for variable separation method we will proceed as follows. Okay, so for this psi, which is the combination of r, t and f, here it should be multiplication sign. Okay, it should be multiplication sign. So for successive differentiation with respect to r, with respect to t and with respect to f, we can obtain the equation as d psi with respect to dr. Okay, so this t and f equation will be treated as a constant. So this differential will be what? DA by r upon dA by r, where this r is what? R equation, and this small r is the variable. Okay, so if we square that, or the second order differential will be simply square. Okay, so for theta and for psi also we have done the same procedure, and we have to substitute that equation into the our obtained Schrödinger wave equation. Okay, so we have like substituted that here. For dA by upon dA by psi, for with respect to r we have substituted here. Okay, and this t into f is the constant term, so here also we have substituted for theta term, and here we have substituted for the phi term, and here this wave function psi is the combination of what? R, t and f. Okay, so now multiplying this above equation by using what? R square sine square theta upon RTF. Why we are doing this? Okay, because here we can see this f equation is containing this r square sine square theta. Okay, so first we have to solve this f equation, because for rigitotal also we have done the same procedure. We are going from this right to left hand side. Okay, because this will make the simplification not better. Okay, so we have just multiplied by the r square sine square theta upon RTF. So our equation will changes to this sine square theta upon r into dA by dA by r of r square dA by r upon dA by r plus sine theta upon t into d by d theta of sine theta dt upon d theta plus 1 upon f d2f upon d phi square plus 8 pi square nu upon h square into r square sine square theta into e minus vr. Okay, this all terms equals to 0 here. Okay, this r, t and f are independent of each other, so we can see this third equation, that is 1 upon f into d2f upon d phi square is the function of only what? F or the phi. So we can separate that equation, and we can equate that equation to some another constant, say minus m square, and we have already seen this. Why we are using the minus m square value? Okay, minus m square, because this is the second order differential, and for second order differential the general solution can be obtained only if we consider the equation is having the form of this type. Okay, form of this type. So we have just like substituted that. Now so upon substituting that equation into the given like above equation, we get that all the other term will remain as it is, only this there is a difference in this minus m square term will become instead of this term. Okay, d2f upon d phi square into 1 upon f. So again we can see that here. Okay, this equation is what depends upon only r. This equation should depend solely upon the t. Okay, and this should be also depending upon the r only. So how we can like convert that? We just need to simply divide by using the sine square theta. So this sine square theta can be get cancelled, this can be also get cancelled out, so we can left with only this equation which is containing the terms of r only, and last term which is also the equation of r only. So these two terms are equations of r. Then the second equation or the second term is equation in terms of t or theta. This equation is what? This is again a constant term which is again depends upon the theta only. So we have like rearranged that equation as a r equation, that is 1 upon r d by dr of r square dr upon dr plus 8 pi square nu upon h square into r square into e minus, okay, this r is small, okay, this r is small one, e minus vr, which is equals to m square sine square theta minus 1 upon t sine theta dabba by dabba theta of sine theta dt upon d theta. Okay, so LHS of this above equation is the function of variable. So we have solved this for the f equation. Now we have to obtain the equation for the r and t equations. Okay, so for our equation will looks like this. Okay, so 1 upon r into d by dr of r square dr upon dr plus 8 pi square nu upon h square into r square e minus vr, this is equals to beta, and the theta equation or the t equation will looks like this, which is what, m square sine square theta minus 1 upon t sine theta into d by d theta into sine theta dt upon d theta, which is equals to beta. Okay, so we have obtained the three separate variables for r, t and f. So we have to like solve that each equations one by one. So for the t equation, again we will try to oversimplify that equation. So how we can simplify? So first we will rearrange that equation as this. Okay, so minus 1 upon sine theta into d by d theta of sine theta dt upon d theta is equals to beta minus m square upon sine square theta into t. So upon rearranging this term, okay, so rearranging this equation, we get the b equation, which is nothing but the theta equation. Okay, so initially we have got the equation for f, now we have got the equation for t, we have been only left with only r equation. So how we can obtain that? So we have just simply rearranged that equation by multiplying this r upon r square term. Okay, so 1 upon r square dabba by dabba r of r square dabba r upon dabba r plus 8 pi square nu upon h square e minus vr into r minus br upon r square, which is equals to 0. So this is the equation for the r. Okay, equation for the radial part r. So here we have obtained the three different variables r, t and f. So we have to like solve that each equations one by one. So equation for that a, that is f equation, which is given by the we have obtained that solution for the f equation, which is comes up to what, 1 upon under root of 2 pi into e raised to im phi. Okay, where this m value is nothing but what, it is the magnetic quantum number, it has the integer values. So the solution for that a equation or the f equation is already we have seen in the rigid rotor part. Similarly for the equation of t equation, which is again a similar, so this equation of t, there we are obtaining what, which quantum number, that is the azimuthal quantum number. So the value of that t equation will depends upon the beta, and beta is in turn depends upon the azimuthal quantum number, that is L. So we have been only left with only C equation, that is R equation. So we have to like consider that R equation and see whether that values of R equation are depending upon which type of variables. So this F equation, the general solution is what? This general solution is C into e raised to im phi, and we have to like obtain that C constant value by imposing the boundary condition. And what are the boundary condition for phi? So phi is ranging from 0 to 2 pi, so we have just imposed that condition. So we have to find out the values, and once we have got the values of that constant C, we just simply put that into the normalization condition, that is psi star psi d tau, and once we have normalized that, we got the value of C as 1 upon under root of 2 pi. So the overall wave equation, that is for in terms of f, or the simply we can say that f equation or the phi equation will be f into, sorry, f is equals to 1 upon under root of 2 pi into e raised to im phi. Okay, so next is the t equation or the theta equation. So solution of this t equation can be obtained in the same manner, like we have assumed that new function, that is q, which is equals to cos theta, and we have substituted by using the chain rule. And once we have used that, we have used the okay, Legendre's polynomial, and by using that Legendre's polynomial we have obtained the general form of equation as, that is the angular part of equation or the spherical harmonic. Okay, spherical harmonic or the angular part as the PL cos theta into 1 upon under root of 2 pi. It's under root of 2 pi into e raised to im pi. So this term is what? This term is the solution of f equation. This term is the solution of t equation. So this psi of theta into phi is nothing but the angular part, because it is depending upon the angle. It is sometimes also be called as spherical harmonics. Okay, so spherical harmonics is nothing but what? The it is the partial wave function. Partial wave function, it is not the total wave function, because total wave function should also contain r. So it is the partial wave function for the hydrogen atom, which is characterized by the two quantum numbers L and M. Okay, so this T is depending upon what? Azimuthal quantum number, and F is depending upon the magnetic quantum number. Okay, so it is 1 upon under root of 2 pi. So this represent the harmonic wave function on the surface of sphere, and hence it is also called as a spherical harmonics. Okay, so you may be asked about like what are the spherical harmonics. So there we need to like explain the r and not r, t and f equations. Okay, so this has represented in the form of a wave function. So sometime you might be asked about the like spherical harmonics for say 1s orbital or 2s orbital as such. Okay, so for this L is equals to 0 and M is equals to 0, which represent what? Which orbital is there? This is the 1. Okay, so it is representing the s orbital only. Okay, so s orbital is represented here. So its wave function is 1 upon 2 into under root of pi. Okay, 1 upon under root of 2 pi. So here it is representing what? 1 into M is what? 0. Okay, so it is representing the pz orbital. So pz orbital having the spherical harmonic part as a 3 by 4 pi. So all this thing is in the under root into cos theta. Okay, so second is the, this is py and this is px. Okay, next is the 2 0, that is pi by 16 under root into 3 cos square theta minus 1. So it is what? 2. Okay, L is 2, L2 is corresponds to what? D orbital. So and this 0 is corresponding to z square. Okay, so this is the representation of the dz square orbital. Okay, so here we can see that the wave function, first wave function is independent of angle theta as well as phi. So it is a constant function for all the values. So this means that there is the equal probability for an electron in all the directions about the nucleus. Hence these orbitals are spherically symmetrical in nature. So this orbital is representing the spherical symmetrical orbital, which is nothing but what? S orbital. So the specific orientation is around the nucleus is spherical. So these are the s orbital. So s orbital is not spherical in nature. So the radius of that sphere is depends only upon the principal quantum number, that is 1s or 2s or 3s as such. Okay, so the shape of s orbital will remain constant, but for the p orbital the shapes are different. Means for pz orbital, px and py, the shapes are depending upon the angles. So this s orbital is independent of the angle, so we can say that it is a spherical in nature. Okay, So s orbital having the spherical nature. S orbital having the spherical nature. Now next is the okay the shape of the p orbitals. Okay, shape of the p orbitals. The function it is given by 3 by 4 pi under root cos theta. Okay, so this representing what, which orbital? It is representing the pz orbital. So the value of function is depending only upon the angle theta, and theta is angle of what? The angle of the made of projection along the z axis. Okay, so this angle is only related with the z axis theta angle. So this orbital is nothing but the pz orbital. So when this theta is equals to 0, that is along z value. So this value which gradually decreases to 0 when this angle is what, pi by 2, means at a 90 degree this cos 0 is or cos 90 is 0. So it will increases further negatively till the angle again reaches to the 0. Okay, and it will reaches to the maximum value of what, minus 3 by 4 pi under root. Okay, that is raised to 1 by 2. So along z axis it will show the maxima and minima. Okay, so for this psi of 1 0, which consisting of the two spherical nodes, one which is positive and the one which is the negative, so either these planes are oriented in the spherical manner along the z axis, and it has the nodes at the plane of xy. Okay, so what is the node? So node is nothing but this point. Okay, where we will find the zero probability for the finding of electron. Okay, so for this pz orbital the maximum probability is along z axis, and the nodal point is lies along this xy plane. Okay, so this is called as a nodal plane. Okay, nodal plane. Similarly, we can have the shape of x, px as well as py orbitals. Likewise, we can explain along this based upon the angle of theta as well as phi, because this px and py orbital, like here we have seen this x and or the px and py orbitals, their shape are depending upon both angle, that is theta as well as phi. So we have to consider the both condition, that is for the theta and phi. So based upon that we can conclude that shape of x orbital is px orbital is likewise, and for py orbital it will be along y axis. Okay, so for px orbital the wave equation is under root of 3 by 4 phi sin theta sin phi, and for y it is sin theta cos phi. Okay, so we have been only left with the solution of our equation that we can see into the next lecture. Okay.